Hey there, everybody. Happy Saturday to everybody. We are going to continue with Pathologic 3. And like I put into the title, I'm going to hope that this time around I do more than just talk about like the game and hey Vivek. Do more than just talk about the game and Pathologic and I guess like poetry and the fourth wall and themes and stuff like that. Make some actual progress. Because there will be so much time to talk about things. But I would like to actually get through the game. No worries. Enjoy your board game. All right, so we're gonna go here. I think it takes about 14 minutes to get through. So we have a quick conversation with this guy. Yes. Are you played? You don't look sick. Right, so this guy was kind of, I think, in love with a former herb bride. Herb bride catches the plague and is dead. And if he was infected, theoretically he should already be dead. We're looking for Ruben. All right, so don't need more mania right now. Something to loot. I gotta get used to pressing X. This is now what I remember about mania, because it felt like I was trying to remember because it didn't really do this to start. Is that I thought was going to be being manic was kind of like always a kind of good thing. Maybe a little bit. They obviously introduced that you can't be too manic or else like people don't want to talk to you. And obviously you need to talk to people. But then the other bit is that you start losing health. I assume, yeah, so I'm going to need to use that to heal up. Talk to you. Do that on your chest. Seen no doctors. Boiler man lately. Fixed furnace. Broke down again. Touch pipe. Cold. Where the boiler house is. I'll try the other way to get to the boiler house. Any other... Nope. Okay. I feel like the game's giving me a lot more freedom to walk around. Follow the pipe. Turn your head. Look at this. What's the password? Set the pipes. A bit ripe. See everything from up here. No doctor, only a boiler man. Fix the furnace. Boiler house. House of boiler, some hot plant. Not even gonna try and translate that one. Okay. More. Oh, hello, tragedian. Pinned into a wall like a butterfly and let him die, even sound like a knife for measure. He didn't die from those wounds. Oh, okay. Out of the mouth of Babe's wisdom. Thank you, VPEG. I'm no actor. I neither feel nor act. My shadow. Yep. Remainder, trace, echo, glove, use thing. Someone's, ears perking up when you hear Latin to be translated. All the world's a stage. I wonder. Okay, I know I said I wouldn't do this, but I'm now gonna do it anyway. Thinking about like literature and stuff like that. So thinking about like the American novel Moby Dick and how Moby Dick has so many allusions to stuff from the Bible. And so one thing you can do is like read the Bible and Moby Dick sort of alongside each other, sort of get the kind of like references, cross-referencing going on, stuff like that. I'm now wondering like how much of that could you do with like Shakespeare in this? 'Cause I think that's the second time so far we've had all the world's a stage. I can't remember if the first time was a achievement or an actual line, but either way, like I don't think it's by any stretch of the imagination merely coincidental. So like if you were to go through like all the lines, like how many references direct or indirect would you end up finding to Shakespeare? Because obviously we already had what might have, I mean, we had the I am at pentameter stuff from our first experience with the tragedian, and you've got we had that obviously thing about the play as well, this being a play, which is not unique to Pathologic 3, but nevertheless. So I wish I knew more Shakespeare. I've read a decent number of plays, but not enough, I think, to catch. I could probably catch 5% on a good day, unless they were fairly clear about it, in which case maybe I'd go up to like 15. Gaze to the face of a dead man. Perhaps then you're really a master mains. If one like myself is here, then the person you were looking for isn't. Today, that person is already dead. They pinned grief. Wait, what? I must have skipped over. Um, so when did that happen? Precisely formally look around. Maybe something would give you a clue. Well, there's okay. There's another one right there. He did deserve this. Smothered by a train car. Grief set up yesterday's escape, but he lied to us. But he was crucified for a different crime. I mean, interesting. So he was cruelly murdered yesterday, which means he was killed on day 4. If only I didn't try to flee yesterday. If only I didn't let them kill Grief yesterday. I wouldn't have ended up in an infected jail today. I hate you yesterday. More stuff to loot, please. Nope. Oh. Follow the pipe, follow the pipe. Gotta go around, presumably. Oh, wait. There's more pipes. New Boilerman, smoke coming from the chimney. I mean, presumably they mean this one. I mean, there's an openable door there, so I'm going to guess it's that. Shadow, meaning Ruben's presumably dead. Pathologist, one of the few doctors in this town, straightforward, decisive man, did something that provoked the anger of everyone, the Canes and the kin, his friends and his enemies. Most people who you know immediately upon meeting them that they won't die of old age. Mess left the cabinet, drugs saved for a rainy day, carefully rationed. A sign isn't bad, it only points to what it signifies. The one you came for is no more, today they are already dead. Need a hideout. Grief and old friends suggested this place. Even enjoyed soaking the furnace. Soot clings so deeply, Room was scrubbing it off himself when they came for him. Who's they? Never saw their faces, but knew what they wanted. His silence. Interesting. Reuben came closest to understanding who Simon truly was. After all, he was the one who pronounced him dead. He was afraid that revelation would not be forgiven. Reuben witnessed a miracle, paid for it with his life. Three days had passed since Simon's death. Reuben hid here in the boiler room, but they found him and silenced him. Huh. Let's take all these. So that gives me mania. That's going to be helpful. Hold on. What's this? belladonna. So these are both poisons. Oh, can you... I wish it would kind of give me a bit of information. Okay. So thoughts. So Simon's closest friend and ally was local healer. Well... this is probably going to be more useful. Because I know that Isidore Barak is dead. Let's see. Anything to loot? No. Let's... that's actually more than I was anticipating. Alright. Really want stuff to loot. Oh well. I guess that's a no. Okay. Peaceful districts are easy to pass through, but I'll have to pass through dangerous ones carefully on my own feet. Such as should have marked with color. So, because the idea is, if I want to get to this district, I need to go through here. Yeah, I need to go through and infect the district regardless. Oof, that's going to be rough. Thankfully, it does autosave. So, like, if I die in here, I can just come back in. Slip the archway without deviating from the route. The rest of the journey will pass without incident. Okay. I can turn to another archway, then I'll have to create a new route. Sorry, what? I don't have any more. Make sure. Go straight. Go away. I don't have any more charges. Keep going. Keep going straight. Should be turning left here. Yep. Follow the path. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and... Yeah, that's a lot. Okay. What do you want? We have to have something to drink, something strong. Up closed. Without Stomatin, no one's running a tab anymore. Humanitarian aid being distributed. Don't know. Last decent person. Provide food for families. Hand out bread for the children. What's this? Oh, that's a tree that hasn't loaded in. They say grief was killed. Yep, same line. So, fact that grief is gone is supposedly a significant issue. Right. 5. Ooh, those are expensive. Hang on. How do I... How do I just add... That's awkward. It really should be when I select this to add, either you should have like an add to add one automatically and then an option to add multiple, or when I click add, it should pull up a menu that says like how many do you want to add. These are recipes. Interesting. Hold on. Was it your stuff our guy spoke for the other day? Let's see if you're a good one or a bad one. Bad one would have run the grunts complain. Chosen's council decided to accept you into our own commodity exchange. Can't play our games. We're not showing you the invisible cat either, but trading this and that and whatnot anytime. Okay, so back from Pathologic 2, because I believe the idea of the game is that they have these stashes hidden around the village, and I'm going to guess the stashes don't exist anymore. Maybe they do, and you just like you can't like see them on the map, and so I'm trying to think of like, because admittedly I know of one that would be nearby, but it would, I think, be outside the district. I am curious to if I'm near there was one on, I think, just about every single stairway to heaven, so I could always check when I'm in one of those districts. It's invisible. So anyway, hang out near tall places like Stairway to Heaven. Ones you see from afar. If a giraffe was running around here, we'd be hiding under it, but our winters are too cold for a giraffe. Don't need your little clinking things. Save them for beggars. They're worthless now. Bring us good sound commodities. Beetles and butterflies and nuts too. Okay, but I can't trade with every kid, only some. Right. The entrance is here. Not receiving petitioners. Research good manners. After everything you said last time, you have the audacity to cross this threshold once again. Tempest, Concilium. Time, Concilium, like heat. Surely that can't be like time heals all wounds, so I feel like that's got to be something else. Tempest, Concilium, Dabet. Okay, so I think the idea is Dankovsky fucked up before, and so can't talk to Georgie, so has to do something right on the prior day. Open. Oh. Con. Kane Air plotted his own course on the path of his family. His followers were called Dogheads. They wore beast-faced masks, lived the polyhedron, claimed to renounce their animal nature and embrace a world of pure fantasy. Obeyed Khan blindly, hence his nickname. Khan himself still retained the ability to doubt.
You'll just fail.
Where's Victor? He only ever goes to the Cape. Needing Victor's son. Uncle used to say the words of a cane all have a trapdoor underneath, and usually more than one. Don't have very high opinion of your own family. Opinion is very high, higher than the polyhedron, but the relationship to speech is complicated. Uncle called it dialectics. You can swindle with the truth alone, you know. The world is a deck of cards. He used to say that the most important ones are always up someone's sleeve. Which uncle? So Simon Kane. Or the... Oh, well, never mind. Don't remember. Was little like a baby tooth when they taught me cards. They taught me to slip jokers to my opponent's decks and to play dead, too. Determine cards. You pretend not to notice your opponent's manipulations, and it gives you an advantage. Everything is a game in the Crucible, and everyone else is a joker. The cards are either marked or from a different deck. That's what Uncle used to say. Sweet. Nice. Gonna need to heal. Oops. Map. So Victor Kane's up there. Okay. I think that also gives me confirmation that no, the conversation with the kid gives me confirmation that there are no caches. We'll check up these stairs. Bromide, strychnine. Can I... Okay, I now know, apparently, how to make morphine and strychnine. Alright, let's check up here real quick. Okay, up at the top is nothing, so there's no caches to be opened. Make sure there should be an opening. And also, so... Oh, right, that's not... Okay, so... Only just sort of like, I think, properly cognizing this now is the fact that... Oh, it's a different district, okay. There are no... So, Pathologic 2 was a, like, proper survival game of... Well, proper, quote-unquote proper, in the sense of, like, you had all of these different meters you were managing of, like, your thirst and your you know, sleep and hunger and stuff like that. And here it's, you know, and of course health. Here it's health and then the sort of mania apathy. So I don't need to be worried about, at least it seems like I don't need to be worried about food or sleep or anything along those lines. The Canes are a strange family. Perhaps Victor, the only reasonable member, would speak with me. Georgie threw me out of his workshop without a word. I think the only thing that's a little annoying... Hold on. The Canes... Oh, same one. Is you had a meter in Pathologic 2 for sprinting where you could kind of see, like, here's how much further you can sprint, and there was actually like a important case about like managing that meter in a few different ways, and so now I do have a meter, it's just not visible to me. So I think like you can hear when I sprint, and Dankovsky gives out kind of like a you know, huff, meaning like he's out of breath, and so I think I need to let the meter recharge, but I can't see the meter, so I don't know, like, you know, how it works. Like, is it you know, is it I guess the way to put it is, like, is it a meter, whereas like it's refilling at a certain point, I can sprint again, and then whatever's like still there I can, you know, use up? Is it a kind of like you can sprint, you know, for 5 seconds with a recharge of, you know, it, you know, once you run out, there's a recharge of like 3 seconds, and then you can sprint for 5 again. So I don't know which one it is. It's something that can be tested. It's just like, it's kind of annoying. I kind of wish there was a meter for something like this. Victor has the hands that create the bricks for building castles in the air. Made sure the gears of fate in this unusual family turned in harmony with one another. Perhaps that's why he enjoys assembling clocks. Only one who could rein in the impulse of wild Nina, his late wife.
A coward. Always been a coward. Oh, how I hate it.
Found your brooch this morning. Remember when we stood in the pier and you dropped it? Jumped to the water to save it. How impudent I was. So, presumably... talking to Nina. So what are you doing here? Here to argue more? If I insulted you before, I do find it interesting. I wonder if this would change, because obviously, like, we're here on day 5, having functionally skipped through days 2, 3, and 4. So they happened. Dankovsky is aware that they happened, but he we have like no real memory of them, and so I am curious if, because I know that we have, I'm pretty sure, maybe I'm wrong, that we'll have a chance to replay these days after we've changed things. So let's say you go and play back through previous days, having, you know, done certain things. Would you still get this line of like, if I insult you before? Because if I insult you before, we'll be like, surely Dankovsky would know. Question is, do you know why you came to this town? This is twice. You still understand nothing. Georgie had high hopes for you, Dr. Dankovsky. But you amazed him and you turned out to be ordinary. Stagnating. Studying immortality. When we talk of the shrine death, only ordinary is worse. Being ordinary is worse than the sin. Can ordinary man even understand immortality, let alone achieve it? Death is time. The time in your life slipping through your fingers. To defeat it, you must tame time or break it. Nothing new can be made without first breaking the old. That's what Simon used to say. Have you seen the body? Your current way of thinking doesn't allow for proper discussion. Come back when you understand, when you found a way to break time. Ne verba pro... Verbo, be verba, be speaking. Ne verba for... Farina. What the? Vlad the Younger is taking charge of fighting this epidemic. Okay. Oh, now we start seeing stuff filled in. For prior days. I wasn't the only one who found Ruben's hideout. On this day, the attackers tracked him down and killed him. So they did it on day 3 specifically. Which is actually interesting information to know because... that did not... That did not feel clear from that prior discussion. Can see the train on the tracks. Cars full of plague corpses. And so this is interesting, going back to, so we're in this layer of story. So Dankovsky is relating to an inspector what happened, because the inspector is basically accusing Dankovsky of not fulfilling his duty as a doctor. And so the key accusation is, look, you tried to flee the town when you could have been helping people, which you can, I can't remember the lines that you're given about, but I feel like the idea is like Dankovsky's like usually trying to fight back against it, but the mind map as it exists kind of confirms that he was trying to get the hell out. Now, of course, the reason he was doing that is he, cared about his whole, mission to defeat death and stuff like that, and he cares most about his laboratory, the Thanatica Institute, but it fundamentally does confirm like the accusations against him, and so we are kind of like, I think, which goes back to when we began this day 5, with like this question about like, okay, we're telling, because the reason we go to day 5 and don't just continue with day 1 is that we jump forward in the story because this is Dankovsky relating what happens. But then if we then try and say like, no, I was trying to help out and stuff like that, then we are rewriting or trying to revise the story, of what happened, which is also the case of like, that's kind of what, I'm also curious if the cache, at least like the stairway to it, the stairway's still there. Oh, the cache is there. Huh. But because obviously we're going to be going backwards in time, a lot of the idea here is, what's this? I've already had an opportunity to break a mirror, and I'm unclear. Like, obviously those give bad luck. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. So you then get the revision, like the idea like we can undo stuff that happened. But is that undoing stuff, what are we really doing? Are we actually like changing the oops, I'm going the wrong way. Shoot. Are we actually changing ooh, stuff to loot. Hey, because I definitely need more health stuff. Are we actually changing? Ooh, that looks like stuff to loot. Yeah. The course of events, or are we just kind of changing the story?
Forgot that there's so much of the world
That's being told to the inspector. What? There's Clara. Strange little ragamuffin with the hypnotic eye. Sometimes claims she can heal with the laying on of hands. They also say she is Shabnak's sister and a harbinger of death. Saw Clara in remote places no one else could reach, and at times it was as if she were in two places at once.
People don't like people much, but hating others, That's a challenge to them too.
I am very curious what the remake of The Changeling is going to end up being. Because I know that there's a lot of weird stuff in her playthrough in Pathologic 1. But I wonder how much they're going to lean into all the like kind of strange supernatural powers that it's implied she has. I know that I believe in Pathologic 1 they mostly just do like, oh, she does maybe have like a laying on hands power. It that kind of works in certain circumstances. I do also know that, oh boy, there's also the because that one also had the like diminishing reputation, right? Like it's constantly falling. So I wonder if that's going to turn it. There's so many ways you could take it. So and like again, like the mentioned this last time, but I recall one of the things that Ice Pick Lodge had mentioned is that like they wanted to try and make the games feel different. They didn't want it to just be that each playthrough was kind of like the same basic game, just with a different character and different overarching story. And like they've done a lot here between The Bachelor and the horror specs. So you then kind of imagine like what's the Changelings going to look like to like kind of match that. There's so many ways you can take it. Look at my eyes, don't move, don't even turn your head. She won't touch you as long as there's a thread between us. That's what I've heard as well. Which my understanding is it does not go very well. Cover your nose and mouth with your scarf. Do you hear a dummy sound? Do you think I'm blind that I can't tell where I am? You need my protection, not the other way around. I can already tell you're not susceptible to hypnosis, so why waste the effort? Yeah. No, what I heard is that the way it goes is that you're brought to try and heal like is it as proof that you're like, you know, a miracle worker, and you do it and it kills him, and the person who's there is like, oh, that must prove that you're a miracle worker because your touch must have judged, you know, known that he was evil and therefore punished him. And so it kind of like, you're a miracle worker either way, whether you heal him or kill him. I mean, obviously, that's the way it works out. But like the logic of what actually happens is it's irrelevant. Yeah. I want to help you. You know your attention to do so. So there's not even a morsel left for her. She feeds on your mind. Okay, who is she? That's Shabnok. Shabnok is the plague's body. The earth spits her out every few years so she might walk through the town to cleanse it of corruption, wicked thoughts, weak people. Everyone believes something different on that front. Oh, I guess Shabnok may not literally be the plague's body. with your head of solid oak wood can see her is a very interesting question. Most people, like you, are completely blind. What ripped that hole in you, I wonder? Either way, she won't stop stalking you, whether you believe in her or not. She likes you, I can tell from a mile away. Teach you how to handle her. Ooh, okay. Which is our Dankovsky response? Do we go serious? Do we go sarcastic? Or do we go fuck all this? Let's just go with... So, rule number 1, you're no adversary for her. Revolver won't shoot her. Knife won't stab her. So just run. There's a Don Quixote reference. Prototype. Experimental device prototype. You're capable of dispersing. Oh, so we're back to talking to the Bachelor. Say this vision manifests as some kind of especially dense cloud of sand pests. If I shoot at it, I'll dissipate it, which means prototype can kill the Shabnak. I like that one. Killing death would be a heroic feat. No way it can kill a Shabnak. How about compressed air and anodized particles of bile and belladonna? Do you miss anything about pneumatic weapons? A sigh from Bostarok can stop her for a short while. When he sighs, she walks on tiptoe, careful not to wake him. If you exhale the right way, it will probably slow her. Okay, I assume that, yes, if you do a blast from it... Yeah. Eventually your science can defeat this ancient truth of the step. Well, then, scholar, give it a try. It'll be interesting to see. Here's rule 2. She both loves and hates fire. She can't pass a bonfire without wanting to love and... So light bonfires, they'll slow her down. She's drawn to people who aren't hollow. Something you carry inside yourself. There's no way she's going to forget about you. Once she's close, she'll never stop chasing you. So we get a kind of like horror game. Interesting. If she catches you, she'll devour you. You might find a way to wriggle out of her embrace the first time, definitely not the second. She eats away at most people's bodies, dries their skin, chews up their immune system, but you're not as easy to get to. Like someone's watching from above. I mean, yes, because we don't have an illness like a plague meter. We just have health. So... You won't get infected in the plague district like others do. Instead, you'll go insane, waste all your time, and then she'll eat you. Do we have an actual insanity meter, or are we just working off the mania apathy meter? She thinks she's my sister, and I think she's a monster made of bone. I guess... I mean, okay, because Clara may or may not... This was always something... I don't know how it was done in Pathologic 1. In Pathologic 2, there's... the claim that there is Clara claims that there is a doppelganger going around the town that looks exactly like her and is doing all these like evil things, and she's being accused obviously of doing the bad stuff. So there is that one point where you go and chat with Sticky and Clara's there, and then I'm trying to remember what the sequence of events was. It's like, because like Sticky's there, I believe, to like say, hey, I've got a friend I want to show you, because her friend is supposed to be the plague, I think. Clara's there watching and says, I'm not the friend. You turn and Sticky's gone, and Clara, the one you were looking at, is gone, and Clara is there, obviously same model, character model, but this other Clara is like much more sinister, and I believe does a like, look, we can trade of like your life or hers. So if you hers meaning Sticky, so if you say Sticky just straight up dies. If you give yourself up, you get infected. So I guess that in a way that makes sense that the evil Clara is actually an embodiment of the plague. I just never really thought about it that way. So that's like an interesting tidbit. Prototype can slow her down, bonfires can slow her down, she can't be stopped, beware. Okay. So, hold on. 1, I need to use this. 2, add to quick slot.
What the hell?
Nope. Okay, so, whoop, wrong one. If I just... What the heck was that? Oh, I think I got, like, hit? What was that? Clarlu to TPTB, watching over Daniel saying, I know, but I understand. Whereas in P1 she wasn't in, and I don't understand state of mind at all. TPTB, oh, Maria. Elisar the Cane, Simon's niece. Mother was a mistress. Women said to wield mystical powers. Maria believes she was meant to walk the same path. Followed everywhere by her signs. Young people who claim to have aligned their fates with the constellation of the Master Destiny itself. Every gesture burned with untamed fire.
Rough as Dutch, safe to touch, smooth as bone.
The powers that be, okay.
Alone.
Don't pretend. Lingua mentem apparit. speech, language, a parrot that was like revealing, right? Mentem, ment. I think momentum a parrot. Who dares open his mouth while mistress is working? Let's be nice. Daniel, no need to mock me. Haven't somehow forgotten you after 5 days. One does not forget the likes of you. I was focused on the dialogue. The unexpectedness of your voice caught me off guard. It's an honorific, sign of respect. Hey! Talking with the house. High cars are not built by us, and this house is one of the oldest ones here. It doesn't understand me, or rather, it pretends it doesn't. I explained to you already. The mistress can feel certain things in a way simpler folk cannot. Trace of Uncle Simon's hands still linger in this house. It's here, very close, still warm. I can feel it, but the door is locked and broken, and the house will give me nothing freely. So Uncle was was a very close friend of Isidore Barak, or a rival. True friendship is indistinguishable from rivalry. Feels life still smoldering in this house, in some object or living memory. Perhaps he's even there himself. No longer matters anyway. What I'm doing is stupid, and what you're doing even more so. It's not my point. There are traces of Uncle Simon in this house and the whole town, and the polyhedron, and people, even in the street layouts. Great people don't die, they scatter into myriad reflections, but we, his poor descendants, won't ever be able to put them back because tomorrow shall not come. Language opens the mind. Okay, thank you. People locked in the town hall thoughts too, but we've okay, back to that annoyance with the mania apathy meter and dialogue. Suffocated by walls of reeking body, Shabnak will devour our tomorrow. When you sleep tonight, the apnea demon will descend upon you, and you'll lie there frozen, staring at the ceiling. However, I don't know. I had a dream. I've seen every calendar in town stop at number 5. Okay. I think insanity, mania tied. So talking about Shabnak as a real thing increases mania. In this background of ours, the earth sign has belched out the strange creatures. I'm surprised you had enough clarity of mind to see her. She wasn't there in my dream, but that doesn't mean anything. She doesn't like to enter my dreams. My dreams are of the higher realms. They strive upward. The Clayspawn and Rat Brigands don't feel at home there. Dreams are not the same. I'm a mistress. I can see the truth. Tomorrow shall not come. If only you'd acted differently. If you'd opened the hospital, taken charge of the emergency command, searched for answers, perhaps things would have been different. You missed your every chance, and so have I. Go to the still waters. Say goodbye to Eva. Gaze up to the starry sky before you sleep. Write a letter. Get in touch with something you hold dear before the end. I had hoped to say goodbye to Uncle Simon. Cool. I stood in this house right here. Uncle Simon breathed behind the closed door that tomorrow would not come. It was important to tell you that for some reason. Okay, I need to...
So be it.
I need to reduce my mania. It's a typo there. Not sticky. Murky. Sticky's here. Murky was one I was talking about earlier. Children at Eastern Barak surrounded himself with his final days past his wife. Sticky couldn't get let go of his legacy or his heir. Got anything from his straw-like hair. And have us showing up at this first time adventure.
Well knows the kitten whose meat it has eaten.
Son of a barnacle, lost the pin again. May move it to the left. Sign. What you doing here? Not a sign. A new one. Did Maria put a spell on you already? Just follow her everywhere, doing everything she tells you. If you do, then you're a sign. I don't want to, or I thought I didn't. Then she asked me to break into dead Master Barak's house. I just ran here, skipping all the way. So, okay, we've learned he's dead. Deader than dead can be. It's been days already. Yep, that's the guy who called them to the town. Shut the door. Think I'm a dimwit. Front one took me 3 minutes tops. The main study, though, won't budge. It's as if broke the lock so Noah can open it. Blocked door from the inside the boots. So what's inside? There's clues inside. It was the murderer who closed it, so no one can investigate anything. You know how it was. This house was open all the way until the funeral. Then the killer knew he had to lock it because they all understood it at the funeral. Not everyone grows 4 new arms after... Not everyone grows 4 new arms after death, you know. That beast claw, too. Only happens if you fought for your life, tooth and nail. Huh. "3 days spent on the ground, all over now. The killer, he was skulking here that very day. Seen with my own 2 eyes I did, because I wasn't at the funeral like everyone else. Still didn't track him down. Not telling you who it was. So Sticky knows, but isn't saying anything. Bear, he came with you too, and they killed his father, and he was the one they accused of it. Oh, Artemy. Interesting. Why Bear? Find Master Barak's killer on my own, or with Bear maybe because we cared for him. You never did. You care about Simon Kane, don't you? Have you ever thought he might be right behind the stubborn door? So Maria mentioned something. They buried Master Barak. They didn't bury Simon. Someone stole him. Technically, we do know that his body was taken. Oh, okay. Kane thought they'd be able to keep it secret. Not for me, though.
There's no point. I've lost myself and the whole town.
Okay, whoops. Wrong button. So... this is a lost cause. I can't save the town, I can't save the neck, I can't find Simon. There's only one... Wait, what? Whoa.
There's still life in me. More life than can be lived.
Superficial understanding of Uncle's parents. His body, if it even exists, doesn't matter much. Like a... After he's reached his peak, the will fades. Last hopes hold on to a thought. Sicky's in Notkin's gang, of course. Yeah. Most of those were interesting. I wonder if it is possible, like, if there is a sequence you can do to avoid that. Because most of those seem pretty like genuinely all is lost. Like the only one I could see was to like, you know, all is lost according to the prophetess, which would kind of be like maybe there is a way out, maybe she's just talking nonsense. But the rest of it like kept seeming to like go the same direction. Your moral body lies upon the round and bullet in its head, yourself beyond the flesh. Then cradle over an abyss. Slip a feeble light between the ticking hands of blackened time. You stand inside a mirrored chamber. Look, one glass in which you shot yourself, more still in which your life goes on. This place allows a man to choose among the possibilities. You're free to pick the one in which you shot yourself and end your story there, or you can choose to defy death and give it one more try. Your business in the living world remains unfinished. So let's say you didn't shoot yourself. Too much left still to do and not enough of you. Your goal will pull you back to life. A hook lodge in your cheek. If you depart too soon, who would there be to bear this burden? I like, because like I wonder, I mean, they could still end up doing it. But in Pathologic 2, the kind of meta narrative was when you die and respawn, that is like the actor for Artemi Barak, I guess, dying. Maybe it's dying. Maybe it's like quitting. I don't know. I don't know if they exactly say, but like, let's say dying, and then somebody else, like another actor, taking his place, such to the point that like you actually run into someone who is like supposed to be another actor for Artemi Barak. And so this one, it's doing it as, no, you're kind of getting an opportunity, like you might be kind of taken to an opportunity to see the different threads of story and like choose which one you want to go down. So rather than it still being a play, it is an actual like meta kind of mystical. So there is still like an explanation, but rather than it being all within the language of a play and performance, it is kind of like real world mechanic, for lack of a better term. Who is following whom? I don't leave this place, and you are a first-time visitor. Your present fate remains unclear. Are you a body lying bleeding on the ground, or are you still at the still water staring at a clock? Clock is calm as can be, but what you'll do with it is not. Just stand before it and watch the motions of its hands. So, all right, I don't know really. Feels like nothing really matters anymore. Stuck in limbo with everything running in circles on the way out. If I must understand the underlying mechanism. Am I in this town or in a memory of it? If it's like I'm everywhere at once, both standing here and giving a statement at the Capitol, acting and recounting my actions at the same time. Yeah, I'm absolutely going with that. You come out of the shadows by degrees. Indeed, as if you are both here and there. This thought of time as a mere line entraps your mind. In truth, you are as free as ever. At once you're here and in the capital, 1 foot on yesterday, 1 on tomorrow. To free yourself, you'll have to break the glass. A mirror multiplies, they breed realities. Right now, you need to cull this herd, reduce them all to one. The one in which you're still at the still water staring at the clock. So, to absurdity. So... Wait, which one is this? Statue, that's near the canes. Which one would that be? Is that Victor's study? I don't think that's Victor's study. That looks like it's Stillwater. That's okay. So I think that's also Stillwater.
The broken ones don't lie.
That looks like Stillwater. That looks like the canes. Yeah, because there's a statue. That also looks like the Cane's house. That's the polyhedron. Oh, you're right. I'm getting those two mixed up. So then they're all these? These are all the Crucible. Maybe it doesn't matter.
Who's staring at me through the looking glass? Camera obscura. Camera lumina. Optics, vision. Their answer is in mirrors. Superstitions aren't real.
Interesting. So what happens when I break them all? Oh, you have to break them all, I guess. Well, because it was the line was you have to break the mirrors except for the one where you're in still water. The breaking mirrors, the mirrors multiply, and so you have to get rid of the ones that are, I guess, wrong. But I think that was, I don't know. That was what I was pulling from it, but I guess I was like misinterpreting what they were getting at. Obviously, since I don't think, well, because this might be like, because I broke somewhere I was at, like maybe the ones in those of the study, maybe that was like Ava's house. But then it doesn't like, it didn't punish me for it because it just kept giving me the amalgam bits. Attribute to them.
I'm afraid it's natural. Simon's fate was inevitable.
No cigarettes left. You don't remember me. I think I'm starting to remember. Yeah, because we're back to like this idea of Dankovsky not knowing things that he presumably should know. Like the literal knowledge of days 2 through 4 are just gone. Like they almost like they didn't happen. Two days ago, you came to my house, Tremel, and promised to put in a good word for me with the Canes. Not in the mood, but I thought we had an agreement. I gave you a lead, and you gave me your word.
Research. Verb. To research.
Mixed medicine. So you need water, morphine, and what's this? Strychnine. Okay, so I can make more potent, because I have this powdered strychnine and this like bottled strychnine. I can make it more potent. Analyze items. Do I have anything to analyze? I was looking for... There we go. Load the prototype. Oh, okay. Prepare. Sorry, what? Prepare the projectile. Oh, can I just put this? Oh, so those do count as extra inventory spaces. That's useful to know. full charge again. That was... Okay. Head upstairs. No, this definitely isn't the study I saw. Let's go upstairs real quick and be sure. Here's my suitcases, presumably. Loot this. Sweet. We'll loot that. Talk to Ava. The Stillwater's failed observatory converted into a guest house. Avion just moved in. She was never chased out because, according to locals, Stillwater changed people in strange ways and someone must bear its attentions. When I arrived, they'd already arranged a room for me at the Stillwater. I saw Ava every day. She almost never went outside.
Never odd or even.
So a good reason to arrange for you this. Simon arranged for. So interesting. Because we know Isidore is the one who writes the letter. But either that's at Simon's behest or Simon is made aware of Dankovsky's arrival. It's on case log. Is there a mirrored room in Stillwater? There's many rooms in Stillwater. Some are locked, and I don't have the keys myself. Not eager to get in. If the house wants to, it will let me in. Haven't seen a room with mirrors. It's always been here. Simon used to joke that they built Stillwater around it. When Farkhad started erecting Stillwater, the clock was the first thing to be installed. Simon, who brought it here. I think he actually brought it himself. It was brought here at his request. In fact, you were the first one to ask me about it. But people just don't notice it. Each time I see you touching it, it feels like I can see something I can't as you're being transported by it. Have you already seen me touching this clock before? Been living here 5 days. Of course I have. Every single day you stand in front of it and murmur something before you go back to bed. If I didn't know that you're such a skeptic of the car, I would have thought you were performing a ritual. Those who live in the Stillwater can get things muddled in their head, but you shouldn't blame everything on the house. It's unusual, certainly, and built with specific intent, but in the end, it's only a building. In our little town, there are tall tales about everything, even toy bowls. Separating truth from fiction is hard for the locals. Sleep as Death's little brother. Quite the great Retro Dankovsky. Interesting. Don't lie down while you're thinking about so much about the clock you won't fall asleep anyway. Amalgam is required to recall the past. Now is needed both for the bachelor's past and the player's past. Loading us, right? That one's broken. It can be attained by smashing mirrors and in a couple more ways. It's a different amount depending on how far. Yes, depending on how far I'm going back, it takes different amounts. So let's go today too. So this, incidentally, in the demo, there's a point at which you do this. And what is that green light supposed to be?
You know what a man who forsakes his vows
And
is called?
the
Oath breaker. That includes the Hippocratic Oath.
the demo like crashed on me when I tried like going between days, at which point I was like, okay, I'm just going to be done with the demo for right now. So I don't know anymore, kind of like beyond this mechanic exists. Going on about the second day, what are you implying? According to information, there was no plague in the town yet. There was nothing to research besides the Stillwater and charming mistress. I am on PC, yes. It should be up to date with patches. I know there was a patch yesterday, and there's nothing that suggested it was like waiting, because I have it set to automatically download patches. So it should have, if that was fixed, it should not be there. But it's not like I can double check after the stream ends. Stories were aware of the plague. A note was glowing bright green. We wanted it to be a piece of paper the player can't read, but we didn't want to outshine the entire interrogation, so we removed it. That was hot fix 5 from the 15. Interesting. Yeah, it should have downloaded. I don't know why it's still glowing. Note was glowing bright green. During interrogations, a note interesting, because I'm trying to like make sense of that patch note. A note was glowing bright green, so I don't know if that means that they made it a note that was supposed to be glowing green, or like they gave it a glow to like make sure it kind of obscured the writing, or if the glow is like an accident, or if the glow that they had was meant to like the glow that we're seeing is literally what they meant to do, and they were like, wait a minute, yeah, I guess this looks odd. Yeah. Here's the latent stage lasts 5 to 8 hours. The town was still clean on the second day. Part was correct at the latent stage, the town wasn't clean. Got it. Okay, I'll do a double check to make sure, because it should have downloaded automatically. But I know Steam can sometimes be unreliable with that, so. So you can't know the town was clean on the second day or not. You hadn't opened the hospital yet. You understand nothing about the Sand Plague. Or said nothing about the Sand Plague. Primary frightened, but I'm not interested in your hypotheses or speculations. I need hard facts. I did open the hospital. Why didn't you tell me about that then? And then we'll see if there's any merit to your musing about the genesis of the plague. Interesting. So I chose the second. So, because this last line implies, all these lines seem to imply that it's going to force me to the third day regardless. Let's try that line. Yeah, I think it is. Curious. Did it refill all my amalgams? Huh.
So we have a little loop here with an overcast stitch, as it were. Or a noose.
So you're trying to deceive me time and again. Sure enough, isn't in my power to forbid you lying. To err is human. I presume that's supposed to be. And one can also, shall we say, be mistaken with no ill intent. But as far as formal logic is concerned, you're constantly feeding me something that can only be described as falsehood. Nah. What do we have next? Day 3, the crucial one. The town elites were to appoint the health inspector general, the person to lead the fight against the epidemic. You were absent. So here's... Do you admit that this whole thing with Simon Kane was nothing but an excuse? They wanted to shut down your lab, and you just shirked your responsibilities, scuttling away to the back of Beyond and abandoning your brainchild for your junior colleagues to deal with. Interesting. So now the inspector is kind of like flipping the nature of the interrogation. He was one man, yet thousands dying around you. So I'm going to kind of like, I think I'm going to try and lean in to like, because what it seems to be going after is like rewriting stories, like revision and stuff like that. And so like where that's going to lead us, I don't know, but I'm going to kind of lean into this kind of Dankovsky as kind of a rewriter, that he is actually somebody who tried to help. If I die with no amalgam, death will be final. It's crucial to always have some. I always remember important items, artifacts, small things are forgettable. Consumables are not transferred between days. They'll wait for me in the clock on the day when I collected them. Interesting. Does that mean day 5 I start with all the stuff I had, or even though I got at the end of the day? Hold on. Where's my... Can I see my prototype? I cannot... Oh, yes, I can. There it is. I'm at 20 of 20 charges. I am curious if... Okay, so I can come back here. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I should leave these here. Because I don't know where else I can get a... like, load the prototype. All your hopes don't die in the vine. No capital for us now. The governor's ordered to shut off the tracks. Quarantine. Came on duty today and no one was there. You'd think the station had died out. Is it really a plague? Why the big people who gathered in town hall? Doctor, back from the meeting already? They're talking about the plague. Everyone who's important. Governor Sabarov, both Olgimskis. Okay, I think we're going to have to... let's not consume a big thing of
Struggling somewhere.
manic stuff.
Here?
When I wake up, I tried not to remember what day it is for as long as possible. Morning is a fluid time. Whatever happened outside hasn't reached you yet, which means there is no more power over you than a dream. How am I supposed to hide from reality? Certain things become clear that fade away by evening. This morning I realized something about you. Why you swing between gloom and fever. You love words borrowed from dead languages. Have you always been like this, swinging from one extreme to another? Simon once said that the person's greatest battle isn't with their circumstances, not with hunger, thirst, or exhaustion. Okay, that's a pretty clear reference, I think, to P2 and P1. Real fight is always with yourself. Until you've been with your own apex and your own abyss, you'll never know who you are. Yep, you'll never be among them. Food, drink, and shelter will always be there for you. You don't even need to think about such trifles. Effectively, yeah, the meters don't exist. No one can get inside and change you. Well, they can. Eventually it will happen, but only you can keep track of your own peace of mind and the seesaw in your head. Interesting. So, question is, why did I get that? Is it because I talked to Ava? Is it because of certain things I said to Ava?
It was quiet and
Oh, this is this supposed to be P1? Can't get rid of this Odong. It falls like a dog. It's tough to catch. No. I know, look. I mean you no harm. I only want to look. Look at you. Haven't seen a creature like you. It probably still is a reference to the beginning, because if I recall correctly from what I've known, Dankovsky's playthrough in Pathologic 1 starts with Ava waking up Dankovsky to say, hey, there's some like weird people outside, can you get rid of them? It's a guy and an Odong who are kind of like hanging out, and you can fight them if you want, or you can kind of just leave them alone. So I feel like this is probably in reference to that, but it doesn't seem to be like the same thing. Look at the rags. You walk Darangwilagsha. Loves creatures, loves studying them. Odong are simple herders, but Bodo Granvia minds. You want to follow the doctor? I don't follow like a dog. I'll stay put. He comes to this house often. Your house knows you. I will study him and how the house treats him. How are you going to study me? Stand in the corner and observe. What an artist you are. I can be useful too. I see stains on your rags. Yeah. No, I miss him too. It was a lot of fun. Tiny drops. As Oxbow, you must need it. If you have it on you, say if you need more, I can get more. You could use it. Beauty drops and numb water. I know. I can get those for you. Bring as much as you need. If you let me study, observe you, I'll trade bio and whatever else you need. This is not, yeah, of course. So you can, if you need more ingredients for the prototype, you can trade for them. My decision echoes in the future. Okay. So we're heading there. Let's go ahead and do that.
Nice drum.
Theoretically, interesting question would be, is the, I don't know, do we call, now I'm thinking about it, do we call the embodiment of the plague that follows you around, do we call that the Shabnuk? I guess we could call it Evil Clara. That, because I was like, I don't know, I guess Evil Clara is confirmed. Shabnok less so, because that was, it was unclear. Like, that could be a confirmation from Clara of what it is, or it could be just I'm relating like what people think it is, but it could be a lot of things. But because we saw it on day 5, will it show up on earlier days, I wonder? Because we now know of it? Oh, I guess it could have been. I mean, I don't think it was, but I guess you could never, like, in a like realistic sense, be 100% sure. Question the town since morning. So yep, we're gonna go to town hall. Down from the capital. Strange for you here. What kind of town is this? No schools. Any boxes? Nope. What? Oh, it's not actually... Yeah, it didn't look like the town hall. I don't know why I was, like... thinking that was that. Is that a... No need won't make me sifting through trash. That it... No need won't make me sifting through trash. I feel like that's, like... kind of mistranslation of something. Heard there's a gathering. It's about the plague. The assemblies of any kind are forbidden. This guy's about the plague. In there on the... Cool. Thanks, clerk. Other door on the left. There's Big Vlad.
There is no temple, but the temple of labor.
Why are you here? I was told there was a meeting and I was expected. You're not needed.
No promises about taste, but it'll certainly be hot.
Okay. So Sabarov is the one who asked us here. We need a doctor, like, we need air. Yeah. I need to... What is his posture in for his character portrait in P2? Unless you mean that, because you always see him sitting, right? I'm trying to think. No, is that true? Yeah, because he is standing at the emergency meeting. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what he... But he slouches forward and looks way down. Here's upright and imperious. Oh, okay. I need to kind of like take a side-by-side look. Don't air dirty laundry here. If he carries a report on our customs to the capital, then we can say goodbye to the town where we hope to build something new. Don't play the fool with me, Bachelor. We do have some expertise here, if you must know. We've already taken measures. Termitary sealed off. Avatar shut down. The vaccine is made. I'm sorry, what? First vaccine prototype. Results appear promising. Tested himself in the Termitary. We have the results already. I'm telling you, we've taken steps. Don't know much about testing. It helps everyone. We get to one volunteer, so to speak, this very night, still alive and kicking. Won't need a termitary. Andrei Stamatin claims he's given the medication to his people with a broken heart. Public house by the factory. Unlike customer places, you can certainly drop in. So what else do I need to know? You need to know you're not welcome here. All right, VFig, no worries. Have a good, well, I was going to say rest of your evening, but I guess that wouldn't be the right way to put it. So take care. So, yeah, Georgie is Simon's brother. Or they're twins, but some people say he's half Simon's age. He always saw earthly justice as a reflection of divine judgment, treated it with the utmost gravity. At heart, he remained the chief theorist of Simon's ideas, an architect and creator society in the world itself. She listened to him from the start.
Whoever walks in Simon's footsteps shall have their feet cut.
Oh, really? I don't. I would imagine that sounds like it might be a Pathologic 1 reference, because I don't remember much about Simon being discussed in P2, which would make sense. You're not there in P2 for Simon, so you wouldn't be getting nearly as much information. Doesn't matter. It's going to revel. Dinkowski is a scientist and a doctor. Simon wished to know him. Simon wished to know him. That means he cannot be a useless man. Okay, so Simon, like, further confirmation that, yep, bye-bye. So further confirmation that Simon was, like, so I guess the question is, Simon wished to know him. So I guess why would Simon not be the one to write the letter to Dankowski? Why presumably have Isidore write it and send the invitation?
An umbilical cord connects the earth and the cosmos. It is a ladder, a spring, a bowstring. It is you.
Does Georgie look different? Again, I need to do a side by side, but I feel like his, like, Victor Sabarov, like, the, like, face and hair and stuff like that all look the same, or at least, like, close enough, but I feel like Georgie's portrait is, like, character model is different. Sensitivity brandishes accomplishments being special treatment aren't a grief. His arrogance is only part of the problem. He is incapable of listening, of learning. Simon misjudged him. The man has nothing to offer our vision. He may be an intellectual, but he is spiritually bankrupt. Vision not currently under threat. The whole town's existence is on the line. The plague is banging on our doors, and again, Simon's, Dr. Nkosi, you're here. We've been waiting for you. Okay, so they are carrying on this part of the conversation in the supposition that apology not accepted. My brother is right. You're a doctor from the capital, which means your expertise will be highly sought after. Have to cope. Shall simply catch whatever you inevitably let slip through your fingers. I shall simply catch whatever you inevitably let slip through your fingers. Whether you've forgotten it or still lose sleep replaying in your head, it matters not. You ought to have minded your words then, not now. So I had a conversation with Georgie Kane, presumably on day 2, where I pissed him off. Despite our differences, we must unite against the common threat. We, the town's rulers, possess the resources, and you have the knowledge. Isar Barak defeated the previous outbreak of Sampes, but he's dead now. We need a doctor. What measure you consider most urgent? So we need to set up a hospital, of course. the disease. I don't think you can create a cure this quickly. We can't attempt a vaccine for the infected. Strict regulations. Interesting. Several possibilities. Made abundantly clear yesterday that our talent's history are of no interest to you, but know this: 5 years ago, the crude sprawl. I wonder if that's supposed to be a clue, like refusing to learn. Because, okay, so that sounds like something Dankovsky would do. I don't give a shit about like your backwater town and its beliefs. That presumably, let's go with this theory for a moment. That pisses off Georgie. We need Georgie. So we then have to remake Pathologic or Daniel Dankovsky into someone who is curious, which in turn makes him un-Dankovsky-like. And so that would be an interesting idea for like what this is all going after is, and I guess you would have that kind of reflected by the, I guess some pun intended, the that set of mirrors about like there's different versions is like there are different Dankovskys and you are kind of like what would be a way to you are creating a version of Dankovsky, but ironically it may not be an actual reflection of Dankovsky. Or I guess another way you could think of it is like all Dankovskys are a reflection of Dankovsky, and in which turn there is no real Dankovsky to be reflected, which I don't know, may not going this far, but German philosopher Martin Heidegger, I'm probably going to mess up this bit because I'm not that well versed in Heidegger's philosophy, and it's already complicated to begin with. His theory is built on this idea of like Das Sein, DAS space SEIN. I believe I'm getting that right. It's like usually translated as like their being. Literally is like their being, but then usually just like being with a capital B. But the idea is like being is not like some core of truth that we're all like, where like true knowledge resides in the sense of like a Platonic form, but rather that it is kind of like a reflection of the world. And I can't describe it well. Again, not very well versed in Heideggerian philosophy. It's not to mention it's been probably more than maybe about a decade at least since I've read any Heidegger. But that idea of like I find that potentially interesting if that's what they're going for, that you have this sense that there is a Dankovsky that you're playing, but really there is no Dankovsky. There are instead, millions of different Dankovskys that are all Dankovsky. And by having those millions of Dankovskys that have their own, there's the curious one and the manic one and the apathetic one and the rude one and the nice one and the one who, tried to flee and the one who tried to help. Those are all Dankovsky, which means there is no Dankovsky in the center of it. The Dankovsky that we like think of, through our interaction with him in other ways, or the way that he is perceived by other characters, is both as real as any other perception, but also then in a way not real. They are both the real Dankovsky and not the real Dankovsky kind of at the same time. That could be a really interesting way to take this with all of the like time and like the rewriting of stories and stuff like that. Because it in turn it means like, we as player interacting with not just this game but any game, and you have a character in which you can like make choices about what happens, and rather than thinking of like this is like the true path, it's those are all the true path. The character you play, whether you play it good or evil, or down the middle or wherever it may be, that those are all reflections of the character. So there's no like underlying truth within, I guess within like, at least within the interactive medium of video games, where you have that opportunity to make those choices. This would then be, I guess, as opposed to something like a book or a film where a character is something kind of static, because the character is a creation of the author. Here the character is a kind of like joint creation of the author, player, and game, all together. So let's see how that idea shakes out. There are rumors of survivors, how they were players in Kira. We do know that we, as people who have gone through Pathologic 2 before, know that Murky was a survivor. Let's say it's relatively young. Don't have equipment resources on the scale. We'll have to improvise. I'm surprised you knew that. I don't even remember how I know it. Wish you luck. We're on the same boat here, and rowing in different directions would mean death. As far as I know, you were trying to eradicate death. Death of our town might as well be your first step. Okay, so Vlad Jr. has set some step cure for Sampest in Andre's pub. So I'm going to go to the pub. I want to try and go to the warehouses. Let's go in here real quick and just see if there's anything to... I mean, I can't interact with that, so... Can I loot this? No, there's nothing in there, though. Damn. How about this? Ah, there's something in there. Okay, so Okay, thinking mechanically for a moment. So, several things can refill my amalgam meter. I need amalgam in order to hop between days. So if I can't fix things well enough, then presumably things are doomed. So it's going to be a resource I have to manage. I'm going to bet, because I can break mirrors to create more amalgam. It'll give me a bit of amalgam. But I'm going to bet that breaking a mirror permanently removes it. That would be my guess. If that's the case, then I have to be judicious about how I hop about the timeline. It is not the case that I can just jump between days as I like. And of course, the bigger the jump, the more it seems to take. So I'm kind of thinking through. I don't think there's a lot I can do to plan out stuff right now. So this is kind of like next playthrough type thing, of like, okay, I probably am going to need to, and also, oh, they're rioting. Oh, right, because they're going to kill Ruben. Vlad Jr. assistant step here on Santos and Audrey's pub. Yep, so it's trying to tell me where to go next. Oh, interesting. No, I don't want to do that. Hold on. Clear all points. I feel like... Okay, that takes slightly less time. I do have to go through an infected... Technically two infected districts, although one's going to be really quick. I think that rumble there. Oh, that's interesting. Why did it take me through? Why did it just take me through the hindquarters? I think that was, let's call it the shop knock, just so we don't have to worry about it. I think the shop knock was indeed there. Loot. Yeah, loot. So there's Andres the Martin, architect, pub owner, reveler, murderer. Andre and I studied together briefly at university. Oh, you know, I do know from hearing about Pathologic 1 that Dankovsky like tries to help out the Stamatins. And when I heard about that, I think I never understood why specifically them. I think the idea is like he tries to help them escape, and that attempt fails, and so that now probably makes sense of it, and it probably is it almost certainly is going to be the case that it would have happened. It would have been like revealed in P1, but I just wouldn't have been able to know that because I never played it. But that's interesting, something for me personally to learn. Met during a student riots. I stitched up his gunshot wound myself in an unexpected reunion. Andre always feels confined by dogma and morality. Only a fool could expect him to come to this town and sell for simply pouring purine and nothing more.
I can't promise it'll taste good, but it will be piping hot.
Dust my beloved couple on this man's feet. Cue the fanfare. I'm sure we've met before. Pub doesn't really cut it. You call it an artistic den. Everyone comes in for basically the same thing to drink. She includes a wild sauce and desires so they're more easily sloughed off. I call it the Broken Heart. Orange Mountain, Downgate, Alley of Heroes Ensemble, the other stairway round, the house, which earned me an expulsion from the Architects Guild. Little Brother, so that's Peter Stamotten, and I designed them all. But he gets the laurels and I get the curses. Come from the capital. What situation? How is our university's court of miracles? Is Pego still alive and kicking? The old bastard still owes me a lot of money. Okay, good. I actually do kind of want to not have too much mania right now. So here now, tell me, have you tried purine yet? It's a very special drink. The step herbs have a peculiar character. When infused in liquor, oh man, it can be mind-blowing. I admit, it's quite an addictive business. Some sort of medicines being distributed to your establishments. Stampest ran through here 5 years ago. Worms didn't just sit idly after that. They threw together a remedy. Dead gruel, they call it. The young girl Gimski came to me and insists I hand out the pub. Okay. Think you, of all people, would scare something like that. You're a doctor. It's some herbal concoction brewed with infected blood. And trust in for flavor. Make a tiny cut, rub on a smidgen. You go to bed breathing easy. She had some of the stuff yesterday, then walked through a sick district to pay her lover a visit. Is that day 5? This is day 3. Could that be God, what was her name? Because when we started this tonight, we were talking to a guy who's like, you know, I'm in basically have a girlfriend who's a former herb bride, and she died of the plague. I think it was supposed to be the day before yesterday. That is, we met him on day 5. It would have been day 3. Step caution works, I'm sure, but I was about to try it on myself before you came in and distract me. Kulan, yep. That's definitely who that was. The Yargashin sends you. Why isn't he here? Why are you here? Who are you? I'm a doctor. I stole your verse and fetched after this dead gruel. It's just my heart. It's sinking, fluttering like a moth on glass. Someone lives in my heart, not one of the kin. body doesn't suffer alone. If there's pain, it's everywhere. My heart aches, my legs are shaking. No one here knows how well I dance. I used to dance elsewhere, not within the walls, out on the earth. Then the lean year came. I went to the abattoir to pound the hides with my heels. Abattoir is hard. Dormitory is hard. Couldn't live there. Cramped, stony, far from the earth. Left, lost my shelter, lost my heart. Now I dance in the walls. My heart is in the step no longer. My heart aches. My heart tires. The step won't console it. Huh. Where my legs began to shake. Where my head grew heavy. Okay, doesn't seem to be anything there. Let's look at arms. Reverse. Okay, nothing there. Legs. She mentioned legs are shaking? First legs. Nothing there. Back. And that's... I know the Earth's body, human body, I don't know what can, beats all the time now as if I've been dancing. Never in its proper place, always trying to leap out to embrace its beloved. So we know she has a rapid heartbeat. Okay. Skin. So let's see. Rapid pulse. Skin. Ichthyosis. So that would be it. So it might be itchy skin. Anything else? Okay. Skin's a flame scratch rash. So bad that I scratch until it bleeds. It only calms with cold things. Saw them. Lots of gnats. When a gnat bites, it's better the next day. My back just burns worse and worse. So looks like
Want me to sing you a nice little
that's right. Meredith Day opened the race line with the capital to exterminate death. Yeah, I should have figured that would happen. You and I are not just fellow students, we're fellow sufferers. My creations are also on the kill list for intellectual extremism and anti-humanism. checking occasionally, curious as to what else they decide to chop up. Recognize my style. It's mine. Most of my brothers, though. He's a genius. Shine brilliance. Introduce two of you. She dances. Hardly work for her like it's their lifestyle. Herb bride. With her bare feet that touch the earth. Earth bears the tweer. Then I bear it down into a fantastic liquor. Like, it's not the plague. Anything else can be cured. You're just a man to do it. Oh, did you say Kulan? I know that name. She said she was in love, and he wasn't a man except Andre. How do I count it? Tomorrow. She'll die of the plague tomorrow. The next day, I'll meet her lover at the warehouses. So okay, that's actually extra interesting, is Dankovsky knows this information. Take a seat. Something hot copper nonsense. You make cool on your lap rat and shut down my pub. Ooh, boy.
Freeze frame.
All right. Probably going to need more medicine. Like morphine and stuff like that. I can at least make it, so that's nice. Will it let me through automatically this time? No. Oh, hello, Clara. Now I can just run right through the plague, but in that case you need to learn the anatomy of the infected district. There's usually an epicenter. Okay, let's ignore the Latin. Last time I was like, oh, we should like pick Latin because that's always Dankovsky, what Dankovsky would do. And now that I've done the whole like, oh, I guess they're all Dankovsky, you know, going with that kind of theory about what the theme is. All of these are Dankovsky responses. Focal point somewhere in the district. A plague rupture. Dark crystal flowing above it. bleeding above it. Apply that twice on blood. That makes the refuge. I'd say as far away from it as possible. Hop in a bacteria-ridden dirt with a distinct flower next to it. I should collect a sample. Okay.
How can you explain this? You can't. It's afraid of fire and salt? I'd rather not hear this.
Now the interesting. What's cause it said it's loud. Oh. Key Victor Shabnock. Press X collect spores from the ground into the prototype. Shabnock is not going to like this. Oh.
Halt, death, and put your hands up.
That's simple. To the still water. Let's do that now. So go ahead and focus on this first. Back to the Kine. Let's go ahead and get some more mania. Oh, there's Barak. Cub, Ripper. This man seemed to have had main names. He's a local healer, a Menku, surgeon, half-blood, killer, not liked but respected. Failed to understand what truly made his hometown so fascinating.
In any case, it's nice to be home.
Thought they refreshed Town Hall. Then realized the furniture is the same, but the smell had changed. It's not the hygiene. It's not just about that. It smells like there's not a type bond between the living. Ugh, dang it. Close smell of soot and grime. I used to live in the capital. Just want to train, always smell like it. Flesh, you're not drinking enough water. Your body is dehydrated. King's smell runs in the family. Father always used to know there was a knock on it before it happened. We thought it would some sort of sorcery, but it was just the smell of their dirty, disease-ridden bodies. Dang it. Okay. If we fail, and fail we shall, it's just a matter of the number of victims, and we'll be on trial.
Yes?
One what? My assistant is certain you tried to flee the town. We have made a wager, but you came back, which means my assistant owes me. Okay, like you take charge, give you authority to issue decrees. Ugh. Should have figured. The doctor is ready to make decisions. So hospital, need a space, need people, orderlies. Cathedral, theater, termitary, polyhedron. Okay, gotta get... Oh, well...
They claim it's healthy, but the taste is unbearable.
So where'd it come from? Reasons to say the ways Kin's way of life. Workers whom her father considers subhuman. They fabricated a makeshift remedy for the sand pests, and now I've taken on myself to issue a vaccination decree. Already checked. Okay. Press secretary to help with the paperwork. Alright, I gotta get... I gotta heal myself. 2, I gotta... Oh boy, that's not doing much. Can I... Let's go talk to the kid. Where's the kid trait? That's... There you are. Description. Bromide. I need... Oh god, I only have... I don't have much. Interesting. Calomel is actually pretty inexpensive. Addictive, less... Oh, interesting. Do these all... Yes, okay. Huh. Interesting, interesting. Do I... Because if I do this and this, then you can do these two. Whoop. Do that, and then we can kind of... Oh. I was wondering if that would happen or not. That is kind of annoying. Okay. Do I need to check them all out? Or is it okay to just check out one? Please let there be... Dang it. Don't cut the line. What's it for? Handing out vaccine. I am a doctor. Issue regarding vaccination. And it's also interesting because they said like if your mania is too high, people wouldn't talk to you. But my mania is pretty high, and people are talking to me. So I'm curious like what the actual impact is. Okay. Really need to find something to give me some apathy. Now back to like, there are so many things that I need to do. Take all. Oh, there's Immortel. Director of the local theater, all the world's stage, and so on and so forth. Man is educated as he is shaded by his own intellect, prone to perceiving reality on too many levels.
3, 2, 1, go.
Do you cancer participant already? How can I help you? Suitable location for a hospital. Dramatic mood. Angel that presided over my birth said, little creature formed the joy of mirth, go love without the help of anything on earth. Ah! I'm curious, can you open the hospital elsewhere? And if so, does that have any impact? Because, like, okay, where are the options? You could open it in the termitary. They said termitary, but the termitary's closed and probably wouldn't make a good location anyway. And like, it's supposed to be, again, we're kind of like the whole rewriting thing. What were the other spots? Because they gave me 4 spots, right? They wouldn't have been Stillwater. The Cathedral. Cathedral might have been a decent place. Probably about as good as the theater was. And that gets used by the Inquisitor, basically, but she doesn't arrive until much later. I guess not that much later now I'm thinking about it. And then I thought there was a 4th, but okay, anyway. Theater closed. There you hope for sustenance and the good people in the sound reference performances. The polyhedron. Okay, I'm very curious if you could open them, because they're like, hey, why'd you pick? I wonder if that's like, because the theater's the closest. I wonder if that is supposed to be a trap. Like, oh, you played Pathologic before. You know that the hospital is set up in the theater. You could have set it up somewhere else, you know. And like, maybe it is better to set it up somewhere else. I don't think we talk on not beak, it's not a beak, it's a claw. Hey Avery, really interesting. I'm trying to remember if you have a lot of familiarity with the Pathologic series or not. This one's been causing me to do a lot of like theorizing and sort of jumping around, only from YouTube videos. I mean, that's probably actually a pretty good place to get information about them. This one, I don't know how much you've seen of Pathologic 3 as of yet, in terms of like streams, videos, whatever it may be. But it's been interesting. Like a lot of like jumping around and stuff about like stories and kind of like what the quote unquote real story is. You only seen a trailer so far. It's been kind of mind bendy. There are some mechanic stuff that I'm brushing up against. Let's do that. But otherwise, oh, wait. But, that's building for the hospital. Okay, where do I go? So it's 440. Let's finish up this main quest before going back to Stillwater. Yeah, I think that's probably also... I mean, I think that's kind of how they all are. This one's been mind-bendy in the very particular way where I'm jumping around the game's timeline. And it is acknowledged that I'm jumping around the game's timeline.
A learned man knows the contents of everything and isn't content with anything.
Plants like shouts with the setting sun. Yeah, I think it would be a good idea to not acknowledge the shadows, because I think that would give me more mania. Hoping for a fortune path to tragedy. Yeah, I mean, I've played through Pathologic 2 multiple times, and love that. I've really never played Pathologic 1, but Pathologic 2 I love. It is rough, like a very rough game to play, in the sense of like it demands so much, but there's kind of a lot to be gained from, if you're able to push yourself through. And so Pathologic 3, Pathologic 2 is probably best categorized as survival. And there's like, I guess, some elements, because there's a lot of mysticism in there which could give a sense of horror, but it's pretty light. There's not a lot of like what we like. You say like, is this a horror game? And like my first reaction is like, or this meaning Pathologic 2, like my first reaction would be no, because it doesn't like quite line up to anything else I would call a horror game. Likewise with mystery, because like you're not doing a lot of like, when I think of a mystery game, I'm thinking of gathering pieces of information and then using those pieces of information to like deduce something, which you don't, I guess you do a little bit of in bits and pieces, but it's not like, again, it wouldn't, if I were to like compare it to like other games that are mystery games, Pathologic 2 I think would be like very lacking in that regard. A lot of what you do in Pathologic 2 is you walk around gathering resources to try and keep yourself alive, and basically like talk to people and perform, various tasks. And your constraint is like you're managing all of your meters, including your time meter, because you only have so much time to do various things. So you're making choices about like, well, I may have 3 things I need to do. I'll have enough time for one. Which one's it going to be? Time is not on your side. There's actually a interesting aspect. I don't know if this was capturing any of the material you've seen on it, but in Pathologic 2, because you're playing over the course of 12 in-game days, and as you play through each day, the time for an in-game hour decreases. So like if, let's say, to start an in-game hour is like 15 minutes. By the end, it's like 8 or 9. I don't have the exact numbers off the top of my head, but you get the idea. It's like you are losing time as you keep playing. And you are explicitly warned about it. Yeah, you're kind of like managing all of those things. And so I think of Pathologic 2 as a survival game. Pathologic 3 has been closer to like horror / mystery. There's still survival elements in it as well. But there have been some little bits and pieces that feel more akin to the horror genre. Again, thinking of like other games within that genre, like standard games in that genre. And I know of, because I played some of the demo, and I've gotten like little bits and pieces so far in what I've played, where like you are collecting bits of information and using that to do something. So that again, that is what I would think of as mystery. So like Pathologic 3 feels like a sort of combo survival horror mystery, which actually kind of fascinating in and of itself. Games that trying to think of examples of that. Nothing comes to mind, but admittedly, I don't know the horror genre that well, because I don't do well with horror. I try, and every now and then, but it's one of those like genres like I have like very particular things I can play. So that means my knowledge of the genre is very Subnautica. You know what? That is a good yes, that's an excellent example. I've also heard it described as horror in certain regards. Yeah, I mean, it's because admittedly the horror bit, this game specifically, the horror bit is kind of, I was about to say lifted, but lifted implies like a, theft of something that doesn't belong to it. It's kind of, using a pretty well-worn aspect of horror games, which is like the creature that chases you and you're trying to escape it. Like you can't get rid of the creature. You can only like maybe stun it or block it or do something for a brief period of time, but you cannot get rid of it. And so it uses that. You have a creature that is chasing you in certain places. And so that is where the horror element comes in. Now, it's like it's like a lot of horror games in one respect as well, which is that there are designated safe spots and like horror spots. Because you have this map that's like all these different districts, and the monster only shows up in districts that are infected by the plague, whereas everywhere else is completely safe. So that, I don't know. having heard people talk about the horror genre, I think people have like different feelings about like the idea of like there are spots where you are safe, you know you are safe. So I don't have like ultimately like a strong feeling on that. Yeah, I think it would be ultimately fair to say, though, I do think it should still be regarded as horror in some capacity. I was one who told you to consider in the first place. Subvert the as in you would try and subvert the expectation of the safe space. I'd heard, but I don't know this for certain because, again, don't play horror games. So don't know for sure. So it may be like misremembering, but that what was the Alien horror game from 4 or 5 years ago? Supposedly had that where like the alien could show up and just like in spaces you would think to be safe. And it might have been the case there still were like proper safe spaces. And like what I heard was incorrect. Also a fan of pause buttons, which still allow you to take to. Yeah, I mean that's understandable. I always find it very contextual. Like there are times when I think it's fair to have like, and you can have two kinds of pauses. So I think it's fair to have in certain cases like you cannot pause. Probably a pretty rare situation. I think it's definitely fair to have cases where maybe you can like pause to like stop the game, but you cannot pause to like, open your inventory and, switch out gear or something like that. I think there's cases where you can kind of do things freely as you see fit. And so, it's like I said, I find it very contextual, kind of depends on the game. Okay. So I'm here, I'm talking to Sabarov. We're opening up a theater as our hospital. We need people. Orderlies are underway. Minimal disease needs to be studied. We don't scum the sandpass right away, like the mountain's dancer. Simple tests. Well, I appreciate the vote of confidence, because certainly the nature of the Pathologic series is it throws everything to try and prevent you from winning. I don't know if you've seen literally the opening to Pathologic 2 is you are on the final day of the game, like you have failed. And so you're being sent back to try again. With the idea that you probably won't win. All right. Yeah, if it's 1 a.m. there, you should probably it's probably a good idea to head to bed. Have a good one, Avery. Thanks for popping by. Find orderlies who are trained to administer it. Ooh. Okay. I need a dialogue choice. I have several dialogue choices. What I really need is one that will give me some apathy. I feel like this one. That... I don't know if that was or not. I feel like that might not have been. Okay. 454. Can I get to... Hello? I won't let this go. I'm going to complain. Dang it. I was hoping that would actually give me some apathy. Tell me there's a hospital in the theater. I limp over there and say my leg hurts. Help me. They kicked me out. Said they didn't deal with that kind of thing. Loot. Okay.
Tired of this noise.
Okay, swing sets. Yeah, let's go ahead and try and do this. Because the other main quest is going to be studying stuff in... let's see. Oh, killed him like an animal, don't you get it? He went out for water, and as soon as he stepped over the threshold, someone slit his throat. District's rioting. Between two of us, we got one gun, but what are we supposed to do with it? Shoot people? Happy to scare folk or chase them off, but I draw a line at killing. I'll even give you the revolver. Some thug comes at you, don't get trigger happy, try threatening him first. Should I try to give him a scare? That'll buy you time to run. It's better to load the gun, but the locals don't know if it's loaded. They only see a revolver aimed at them. Shot in the air or the death of their fellow riders will frighten them eventually. Probably not a huge deal. Huh. Can I get... okay. Keep going. Yep, I was... through here. Dang it. That should be... I should be able to loot that. This is... Yep, okay. Okay. Well, can't talk to Notkin. Someone, during kennel of his behind that door. Seek him out to sit here. Stole Simon's buddy and must pay. Oh, when Simon's body went missing, been told to find the man who stole it. Somebody took the body. The next day, there's rumors that Eastor's assistant is hiding in the warehouses. Coincidence? I... Interesting. Okay, so what is it that caused that? Is it because I think the first couple I fired pretty far off from the mark. The other ones, I think I was pretty close to, like, not in the sense of like physically close to them, but that like I aimed very close to them. So I wonder if that's the marker, because I was pretty close the first time. Busy. Smoke and fumes in here. It's possible stay, just don't. Kane Lackey, you only got here the day before yesterday. I probably should. Yeah, I need mania. Let's reload. Can I get past you guys? Just run past you. Leave me alone, please. All right. Let's go to Stillwater. Going the right way, right? Yes. I think it's this way. Nope.
Who are you, Scarecrow? A masked actor, perhaps? As if things are animated.
So the interesting thing about I'm going to go to Stillwater. Oh, hello. Talk. Mirrors and confidence are all too alike. One ill-timed glance will trap you inside. Imagine that you are a mirror. When a man stands before you, you hold in yourself his double. And so where once one stood, there are now one and one again. And this feels like it goes back to that whole idea of like the reflection is the same, is the real thing, or is a real thing, I should say. Were my a mere friend, I'd hold that man within my depths and I would release him. Optics was but one of Simon's callings, a strange belief, but still you must believe. Photon's our town is not at all like what you know. It is fluid. It seeps, it leaks, and in it you must swim. And if time flows, then you may bottle it, like blood or dew or tears. You keep it for a rainless day and spend it when you must. If you had such cache of liquid time, you could then move across the days to find yourself at the right time in the right place. Then I could correct my mistakes. If you could handle it, what need have you to put your mind in chains? You do believe that dead men can one day be brought to life anew? Simon's parting gift, like the way you watched that Nika gave to you, and time and its meaning will be clear, but first you need to learn how to make use of it. Amalgam is what we call liquid time. So long as you have some, you need not take a linear view of things. You may rewind the film or turn the story on its side. If perchance you meet your death, so amalgam is only need to go backwards, is what it sounds like. Maybe it does mean jumping, like I wonder if I can progress time normally and like, oh, I'll like go to sleep and that will turn into day 6 and that won't use any amalgam, or if I need to use. To die with no amalgam is a final and true death, the same death you struggle to defeat. So you must always keep amalgam close at hand, or else you'll meet that darkest end. Your watch is just a watch and not a tool for changing time. Remember this. To die with no amalgam is a final and true death, the same death that you struggle to defeat. Where do I find it? Mirrors are a source of it. They glean a man's reflection, trapping time within themselves. If a mirror you should break, it's liberated time you could then take. Also comes from labors done. Every finished task inspires, giving you more time. Things that matter most. The rest you'll kind of know and understand. Time. Do you believe the things I've said? Do you hear my words? Alright, so right now I will stick with what I got. Sample can form a charge. Focus infection must be eliminated today. Interesting. Telman, head of another lab, he was very positive that every answer lay in the depths of one's psyche. Answers weren't there. Telman would happily plant them. Oh, and utterly stupid on its own, but even worse was the fact that I called him friendly summoned the commission on me. Plague appeared to you in the form of an enraged woman? That's telling. Could you briefly describe the nature of your relationship with your mother? Psychiatric. Sample some dirt from the ground in the plague-ridden district. You take it to analyze it. But then, so sample contained the usual cells which I believe belonged to the sand plague. They were alive but in a dormant state. But in layman's terms, they were asleep. I should activate the cells using stimulants and topical irritants. Result was a plague sample, but an unstable and extremely dangerous one. I could not mass testing to a patient. I was weakened. It wasn't weakened like in a vaccine. It would kill them outright. In the laboratory environment, the plague cell resorted to autophagy. In other words, began devouring each other. Possibly use that sample for a vaccine, but an unusual thought occurred to me. If deactivated plague cells were devoured themselves, perhaps it could be used to create an antidote. After it would kill them for the infected districts. Mix the activated cells with a base for a compound to be dispersed with my prototype. Caustic aggressive reagent that was only good for a few hours, but applying it to plague contagion epicenter could force it to devour itself and cleanse the district. Speak your actions in a manner that sounds scientific and professional, but there are witnesses who claim you began hallucinating a certain female figure in the infected districts and saw you attack it. Don't deny it. Not authorized comment. Canonical killers, people in the manic state, have a certain behavioral pattern. Strive to kill bad people, often women, often marginalized, in order to cleanse the streets. Didn't yourself and others, it's not sin, but you must not you're not a sound mind. That's interesting. So it says I must take a shot at her. So, because, okay, I'm gonna keep this in mind for tomorrow because I'm getting close to the time I need to like stop. Force assistance on me. See visitors, hounds, paperwork, and all that. Love the inkwell most. Take them on yourself to rule the town, save us from disaster. Let's assume that's true, boss. So I need to help you. Precious little time. Town appears to have only 2 or 3 days remaining. Beyond that, it will become a hecatomb, which means we must bargain with death for more time. Another day, then another, then 2 more. Infection isn't the only threat facing the town. Panic is equally dangerous. The public is illiterate and fears restrictions, so our medical measures are too draconian. They'll put our heads on spikes. This I vaguely remember from the demo. Balance the seesaw. At times we'll need to lift quarantine measures to prevent unrest. Other times we might need to distract people or amuse them. By the way, to suppress discontent, otherwise town will fall to flames rather than miasma. Balance the level of discontent and contagion. Draw ideas and inspiration from anything. I'll contemplate the decrees constantly and I'll sign them right here at this desk. Events which try to influence both unrest and contagion. I must deal with the consequences. Any luck, I'll be able to clear the plate dishes on my own. At least I'll do my best. If that works, it'll be an immense advantage. An order will be fulfilled immediately. You won't have to worry about who fulfills them or how. Everything will run like clockwork. Analyze medication young Vlad's been injecting people with is dangerous on its own, but might lead to other findings, and you'll send an order to the pub. I need samples of dancer's blood. They'll know which one. Okay. If the town lives, I live. To ensure this, I must keep the contagion and the unrest from the acceptable limits with decrees. Where yet, seek other ways as well. Authority to enact up to 3 decrees each day. The more I say the town, more ways I'll find to influence it. Interesting. Oh no, this was... Okay, so I thought for a moment... Increase will appear if I carry out tasks for locals. So add unrest. So there'll be less contagion, a lot of unrest. So this is the easiest one to do. But also has the last effect. So admittedly right now I'm at 0, it looks like 0 unrest. I wonder what those, because those, the first one is clearly all. Huh. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what that line says red line says 100, but like it's going up by 100. It says 180 unrest, but it's only going up to 20. And it's minus 70 contagion. So did they like mess up their axis? Because like I could see it as these being like, it's not 100, it's 1,000. That's not 20, that's 200. And so when it's going down by 70, it means it's like contagion's currently at 670, which would actually make sense. It would have theoretically originally been at 700, and then I did this, which would reduce it by 30. So doing it by another 70 would take it by 100. So if it started at 700, go down to 600. So I think that's what happened. I think they messed up their, either they messed up the numbers here. This is supposed to be minus 3 contagion, plus 18 unrest, etc. Or they messed up the numbers on the graph. Because these are not, like, this should be a huge, like, just this should be a huge spike downward. Okay. So I've removed the vaccination decree. I have done that, right? Should be fine. Concentrate. Hold on. Patient tissue, dirty herbs. Adrian, heard you're looking for volunteers. Okay. Just come from the pub. It needs feet to get in there. Smart and barricade the place like expecting frontal assault. Kulon cavorted like a weak half, but now he's not feeling well at all. Shivering to her very bones, fever spiking sharply. Harvested her step blood with all possible precautions, poked her poor arm all over. Won't matter much to her soon anyway. Tied in the back rooms, here's her blood, still warm. Wait, so what am I... Time to brew a real vaccine. Oh, okay. Alright, let's see. So I probably don't need more prototypes. What's the cost of these two? For interesting. These are 2 a pop. Matches are 2 a pop. Wow. Okay, I need to get to a... It is 10:42 in the game's evening, so I have to get all the way over there and use the thing. Nasties everywhere. Okay. Let's see how much time I have left. I gotta get to Barack's house. Where are you? Interesting. I thought it was going to be like a charge, so okay, well I can safely then explore here real quick. See if I can find any more stuff. Like, for example, going into Isidore Barak's house. Maybe there'll be some stuff in here. There is. Ooh. That's it though. Unfortunate. Only the one door. I was kind of hoping there'd be more. White glow, white glow, white glow.
Vibrant. Everything's so vibrant.
Huh. Kind of wish there was like a little bit more.
Boiling, cracking, screeching, living.
Like in terms of resources.
Never alone.
Oh, that
Things
that was a big jump. Yeah, it was a bigger jump than I was anticipating. It's like that's a box that I would theoretically be able to open, but I guess I can't. Ooh. Oh, mirror. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and head where? Do we just head to Ridge Scare? Do we have enough time? I guess because it's usually about 7 or so. Okay. Regardless, game automatically saved. So we're gonna call it for tonight. I might actually have time for the day to check out the cathedral and polyhedron and like close off those threads in the mission stuff. Regardless, I'll be back. It's possible I might try and come back. I'm in the middle of painting some miniatures for Warhammer. And I'm like very close to getting this team done. I'm putting my hands here because like the pieces for the last units are like literally right in front of me. So I'm very close. I might be able to do it tomorrow, in which case I could theoretically do another stream tomorrow night. I'm going to try and do some practice for speedrun, the Tunic speedrun. I've like not put in the practice I need to, and I'm not going to reach it if I don't do it. So we'll kind of see what happens. We'll play it by ear. But because like I'm going to be thinking about this game constantly. Because I'm really interested in like where those themes kind of get taken as we keep going. So that said, can't do anything about it right now. So maybe Sunday, that is tomorrow night. Definitely gonna play Tunic on Monday. Definitely play Pathologic 3 on Tuesday unless like something goes wrong. I mean, we should probably be kind of aware of that possibility because things have been going wrong recently in other ways. But hopefully that all goes well. Because like I think I mentioned when we started this back on Tuesday was when I played the demo, I was like really skeptical going in. Because like the changes like felt kind of weird, and it I had like a lot of difficulty managing stuff and like figuring out like how things worked. I feel like the opening to the game has given me a lot better information to work with, and I'm still learning all this stuff and trying to figure out how things work. But I at least feel like okay, I'm not like kind of stuck. So, I feel better playing the actual game than I did playing the demo. So that's good. Like I was worried having played some of the demo, that I would like get to reach a certain point and be like, I can't do anymore. It's so annoying. So the game is making me want to keep playing. So excellent sign on that part. So with that, Avery and VFig were here. Anybody else who dropped by, thank you so much. You are appreciated. I will see people around. Take care.